Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Plan in Traffic. We For some reason, keep getting kicked off, but I'm still here. So tonight we're talking about cars that we have to get ready for the winter time. I live in or Northeast Ohio, and our winters get not real bad, but enough to mess up your cars. So we're talking about that tonight. Ray will be here in a little bit. He's running a little late, so he'll be on, and we're going to talk about things that you can do to get ready for the winter. And we like to get your opinions too. So you can come in the chat and tell us your tricks of the trade on what you do to winterize your car. Things that I'm doing here in the bus to get ready for the winter. I have air brakes. So on an air brake system, you have to drain water and any condensation out of the system, the air brake system. So I'm getting ready to change some filters, do stuff like that to get the bus ready. Not that we're going to be here in the cold, because next week we're taking off towards the west, and we're going to try to stay out there all winter, stay away from the cold. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I got to do. I'm doing that this week. Is I'm going to drain all the air out of the whole system, run some stuff through it, alcohol they call it, but it's some kind of stuff you put in the air brake system. So we're going to be running that through. I'm going to change the sorry about that. I keep losing my feed. So yeah, we're gonna do the regular winterized stuff. I've already changed the antifreeze in the bus, so we put new fresh antifreeze. Actually, I changed all the fluids. So that's one of the things we wanted to do before we hit the road, especially going out west, because the temperature could be cold or it could be hot. Either way, you want to be a little prepared with the antifreeze and make sure your hoses look good, belts, all the good stuff like that, tires. Keep a good air pressure in your tires. If you got too much air pressure, cause a problem, or too less can cause a problem. So you really got to keep an eye on that. Which I have a tire monitoring system. You put these little caps on each wheel, and it will tell me on my dashboard what the temperature is, and it will tell me the air pressure if I'm low or high. So it's pretty nice to have. And I have to buy some more sensors because I those on the Jeep as well. Add those onto the Jeep so we can keep an eye on the Jeep tires as well. What's up, Ray?
Lewis, here we are, sliding into home, ready to fall off the cliff. Better late than never.
Right.
Watching a very divisive mayoral debate.
Yeah. You got a big one up there.
And even though I'm not in that area and they don't govern me where I live, and I don't get to vote for them, I still want to see what's going on because it's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Yep.
So speaking of hot, what are you up to?
Well, I'm still here in the cold Ohio.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try to pull out of here Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
I was just talking about winterizing the car, or actually winterizing the bus, getting it all ready.
Okay.
And giving little things that we're doing. I'm working on the air system, the air brakes. It has a filter on the air dryer has its own filter.
Okay.
I'm gonna change that and run the alcohol through the system. I was just telling the people about that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Well, don't let me keep on what you will do because you're going to teach me a thing or two. I don't have a bus or a truck, so I don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah, Brian just jumped in. He'll recognize all this stuff for the air brakes.
Sure he knows about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the air brake system, you got to drain your tanks frequently because they'll build up with water, condensation, because just like a home air compressor, it builds up water and fluid inside. So you got to drain that out. So some vehicles have automatic valves on it that will do it automatically. My old semis had that, but this doesn't have it, which
So
I
it's kind
probably
of like
will.
if I'm right, it's like a diaphragm. So you'd have the air over the So it would be air on either side of the diaphragm. When water collects, it would push the diaphragm and then let it come. I had something like that on my air compressor in the garage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But see, I think it works a little different on a vehicle though.
Okay.
It has valves and it has like a actuator on it, so to actually pull it every so often. You know what I mean? I don't know if it has a gauge inside or not. That's a good question. Brian might know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe different versions or different manufacturers may do it different ways, but
yeah. So right now I got to get on the ground and turn the knobs and let the air out.
So you just do it as a regular interval, or do you have any indication that it's got to be done?
No, just, they say you should do it maybe once, twice a month. Check it.
Okay.
In the wintertime, every time you do your pre-trip, a lot of people do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all depends on the weather and stuff like that.
Because now what happens if you don't do that?
It could freeze up. Like your airlines could freeze, and you could be in a mess. And it could rust out. It could rust out valves and stuff. It causes a lot of problems.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So you got to do some maintenance. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's real simple. I mean,
Hey, listen, you can teach your wife how to do that, right?
Yeah, get out, girl. Go.
I'm sure my wife would want to get up in the truck and bleed the lines if I asked her real nice. Yeah, sure.
They also make these one of my trucks had a kit on it where it had a wire that came out towards the outside of the truck, so you just pull the wire and it will drain them.
Oh, okay.
So there's several different ways to do it.
So there's a lot of variants, and you just have to, I guess, find the one that works for you and go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you find something automatic, that'd be cool.
Yeah. That's spoiled guys have those,
Yeah. Well, you could be a spoiled guy. You deserve it.
Yeah. So see, I'm just making my way to that part of the bus. So if I would have thought about it earlier, I would have ordered the stuff already. To be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I find out even with my own stuff, my projects, I just rip my whole interior of the car apart and to change it, and I just did a whole bunch of stuff under the hood because now I just, after having a few years under my belt with it the way it was, I decided I just wanted to do something different. So, I mean, in forethought, if I could have thought of that a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have had to do it now. But that's what it is. It gives you something to do. It keeps you in shape. Makes you spend more money.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got my steering wheel off right now because wait a minute, let me show you.
I just got mine on.
Oh, did you? Hold on.
I had to wait for my adapter. Steering wheel adapter finally came in from I did it. They didn't tell me that I needed, not only the installation kit, but that I needed. Whoa, that is slick.
Yeah, I had to go with the Woody Wood.
Oh man, that is who makes that wheel?
I don't know, to be honest.
That is very nice.
So when I put it on, my horn button hit the actual bolt, that holds the steering wheel on or holds the bracket on.
Right.
So I had today I took it off and I'm 3D printing a spacer. Hold on, let me show you.
Right.
I'll show you.
I wonder if Lewis got that wheel at Buc-ee's.
No, they had them, but I didn't get it from them. So here's the cap.
Okay.
Cap that goes on like this, and then the horn button goes in there. But it was hitting the net that holds on the bracket.
Okay.
So I 3D printed a bracket.
Sweet.
Or a spacer.
Beautiful.
Spacer go there.
So the button works independently. It doesn't need that to ground, so it works independent.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it has. You hook the wires to the button, and you can hear it click. You can click it.
Right. Good.
So I made a spacer. I got to drill holes in it. I wasn't that good at programming the
Oh,
holes for
program. Yeah.
that's some
You
hard
know
stuff.
what? I think it'd be easier to just drill them. I really do.
That's what I'm
And you
gonna
can
do.
use the ring to index them, so that's easy. That's not a big deal.
Yep, that's
But
what
I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you
do.
something.
Exactly.
When we drove out to Indiana, and we stopped at the rest stop, the truck stop right by you,
Oh, yeah, truck
right by
world.
Youngstown. Dude, the stuff that was in there, they had a truck store in there. I tell you,
Yeah,
man,
chrome.
chrome stacks, shifters, steering
Yep.
wheels, you name it. I was like, I want to buy a truck.
Yeah. That's a nice truck stop. Truck world.
Yeah, very cool.
Now,
Very
let me
cool.
tell you that's a nice truck stop. It got a lot of stuff. But if you ever go to Iowa, you got to go to Iowa truck stop. What's it called? Iowa something Iowa truck stop.
Okay.
It has to be the biggest truck stop in the country.
Really, really.
And they got so much chrome. They got chrome everything.
Wow.
Anything on your truck is chrome. They got it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And they got restaurants. They got a movie theater. They got a barber shop. I mean,
Yeah.
everything is there.
Wow. Speaking of chrome, I just found I had to do something for my daughter up in the bathroom up in the apartment. She's short, and she wanted to have a handheld sprayer on the shower. But the way
Mhm.
you do that is there's a diverter valve. You have to take the shower head off. The diverter goes on, the shower head goes on, and then the handheld comes off the side. But you have to be able to reach up and use the diverter, and
Yeah.
she couldn't reach it comfortably. And I don't want her stretching in the shower. You know, it's the most
Oh
dangerous place in the house anyway, right?
yeah.
So I bought a longer neck, a longer gooseneck, which wasn't long enough. So what I did is I actually threw this together and I told her, come look at this. I said, this is like the Green Acres shower, like from the TV show Green Acres. I said, I know that's lost on you because you don't know the show. So what I had to do was
No,
I
I do.
put like a 4 inch it's a half-inch pipe, half-inch black pipe, 4 inches long into the wall coming out into a 90-degree elbow. And then
Mhm.
I took the pipe that comes regularly comes out of the wall that's kind of curved and turned it upside down. So the pipe came out of the wall, went 90, and then curved down, and that's where I put the shower head on. I looked at it with the black pipe. I said, "This looks like something that Mr. Haney would do." I was laughing my ass off, and she's like, "Wow, does it have to stay like that?" I said, "Well, I can go out and try and find maybe some brass pipe, or they're not going to have it in chrome." But she goes, well, maybe you can paint it silver. And then I said, wait a minute. I have a can of chrome spray paint. And
Mhm.
I cleaned the black pipe and I hit it with the chrome paint. And I tell you, it looks pretty damn good. It doesn't look at now, it doesn't look so Green Acres. But I said, man, if this ain't ghetto, this ain't ghetto shower. And now she can reach it. I said, well, you know what? It's function over form. And I'm all about
That's
that.
right.
If it
Yep.
works, who cares what it looks like? You know?
Yeah. So
So
that's basically everything in this bus is like that.
yeah,
I had to make stuff fit. You know what I mean?
right,
And
right.
I'll tell you what, that chrome spray paint has came a long way.
It
They got
has.
nice.
Because I bought some in the past. I think I might have been Krylon. Now I think the can I have it's much thinner, smaller in diameter. It's not the size of a regular spray can, and maybe it is Krylon, but it's specifically, the other stuff was chrome too, but this stuff is far better, and it actually has metallic in it. When you spray it, you can see the metallic coming out.
Mhm.
So yeah, cool stuff. So you could do like the inside of a light housing because sometimes the inside of the lights are either white or they had like a factory plastic chrome to reflect. You could do that. I mean, there's endless stuff you could do with it. I guess you could do a ton
Yeah.
of stuff. But yeah, it's all about adapting.
Yep. I feel you. So
Yeah,
I've been 3D putting a whole bunch of stuff around here.
nice.
Just little spacers and clamps. Like my radio. So when I put the radio in the dash of the bus,
Mhm.
I built the dash out of 3/4 plywood.
Right.
No, half inch. So when
Okay.
you slide the radio in, the little cage that holds the radio, you bend those little tabs down, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I couldn't bend them down because the wood was too thick.
Too thick. Yeah.
So what I did is I put a strap on the back of the radio and strapped it to the the original dash.
Okay.
So I thought that was working. And then one day I looked over and I seen that the radio was out 4 inches. It like slid out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that ain't gonna work.
No.
So what I did is I the radio has a big screen. It's a 10-inch screen, and then it
Right.
has a small like socket that slides into the front of the faceplate.
Okay.
On the sides is pretty much open. So what I did is I made a bracket to go on both sides and drilled it into the wood. It works pretty good.
I was kind of, as you say that, I'm picturing it. I'm thinking if you could take if it may not be easy to do now it's together, but if you could take the wood out and maybe route out the back of it to make that dimension thinner so the tabs could fold back. But then you'd have to take the whole thing out again. So that may not be practical.
Yeah, well, I can show you. Wait a minute. I grabbed my laptop. Like I should have grabbed the camera. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. So there it is.
Okay.
Wait, I had to go up. Wait a minute. There it is.
All right.
So I made all that. So I would have to take it all apart. It'd be a mess.
Oh,
see how
man.
the screen? I don't know if you can see. You see how it? Wait a minute. See how it like slides in?
Yeah. Okay.
Wait a minute. There you go. See the little brackets I made?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's Wait a minute. Now my camera ain't gonna look at me.
Yeah, right.
Come on, buddy.
Occasionally, I come. Something happens, and I'm like, damn, I need something small or whatever. I'm like, if I could 3D print this, that'd make it so. And I have a couple friends that are into it, and I keep saying that maybe that'd be something to get into. But it's almost like I don't want to poke the bear, because I know that if I do start to get into that, is the money outlay. I'd want to follow the mistakes that my friends made, and everybody starts, I think, on the lower level and doesn't spend a lot of money, and then they find out no, to get something good you got to spend more money. So I'd want to get in on a fairly good level, but
yeah,
then you mind, what if I don't use it?
They're coming down in price. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, like everything else, technology has been coming down because it does that. That's just what it does.
All right, hold on. Let me. My camera's doing something crazy. So this camera has automatic facial follower thing, Majiggy.
Yeah, well, it ain't following you too good. There you go. It found you.
I had to turn it off because it was like stuck. I don't know where it was stuck.
It got you. It got you.
But yeah, so the 3D printer is so many different things you can use it for, and it came down in price. I mean, believe me, you'll enjoy it.
So also now with the programming, I mean, I guess there's multiple programs that you could use. You have to pick one, I think, that you're comfortable with or you like, right?
Right.
Or do you use multiples? Do you use a few?
Well, I use multiple. So I use there's a free CAD software that's pretty good, and it's free, so you can download that. But I started using a new one. It's called wait a minute, let me see. It's called Tinkercad, and it's a web-based application, so it's all on the internet. You don't have to download it to your computer or anything, and that works pretty good. I've been using that lately.
Nice.
It's a lot of measuring. You do a lot of measuring with gauges and stuff.
I'm okay with that because I have a background in that, so I have no problem with measuring and understanding dimensions.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, there's a lot of freeware. I know people post stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can just download the program and use it. So.
Yeah, so there's websites that have free, what do you call them? Free 3D print stuff.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see if I have something in here that I printed off of that. I don't see anything right now.
There's a big basic difference between the types of 3D print machines, correct? There's two different types of.
Oh yeah, there's one that's so what I have is a filament, and then there's another one that's, man, what is it called? It like comes out of like a tube of stuff. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, yeah. So the
But that,
filament is actually like
yeah,
plastic
cool.
wire. It's a
Yeah,
spool
exactly.
of material, right? And
Right.
the other one, I think it sprays it, right? It's more like a
No, it's actually it's like it's in a bed of liquid, some kind
okay.
of liquid,
Uh-huh.
and it forms in the liquid, and as it comes up, it forms the piece. But that one there is real for real fine work. Like if you have something that's real intricate,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the one to go with.
I mean, I tell you, I even got like I bought one of these a reloader, for
Mhm.
a and this is 3D printed. Although I bought like three of these are all 3D printed.
Yeah.
It's like, damn man, that's
Now, so you can go
great.
onto websites and people that program that to print that, they'll
Yeah.
put it on these sites, and you can find tons of different things.
Yeah, I was looking at I was on some of the gun sites, and so I was doing some gunsmithing, changing parts around, and I saw they have this block that guys will use, and it's got different shapes on it. You can pound pins through it, and it gives
Mhm.
you recesses. Half the stuff I'll probably never use. But I said, wow, I should have one of those. Just to be because I'm using like a little vise or something to support the gun when you take the pin out, and I mean that would work. But I said, let me get the shop tool. This way, it'd be I like to have the right tools. And
Right.
Brian didn't sell it, so yeah, I couldn't get it from Matco. So I ordered it, and it was fairly cheap. I think it was under $20. I was like, wow, really? And the one I saw the guy using looked like it was aluminum or metal. The one they sent me was black 3D printed.
Mhm.
So, and I mean, the thing is about 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick.
Yeah.
And it just has all the cutouts. I'm like, you know what? That'll work. The only thing that I see that I don't like is like that piece, like the reloader I showed you is smooth. The block that I got, you can see the lines in it from each pass of I guess, of the printer. I kind of like it when they smooth it out and make the thing look a little more finished.
Right.
It just
Now,
doesn't.
it all depends on what level you print it at. Like this here, I printed. You can see the lines in it real good.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Um, and then on the back, here's the fill part of it.
Okay.
Now you can set your printer to fill that in a lot closer, and it'll
Right.
make it stronger.
Right. Right.
And you can make this smooth. But see, this is a spacer, so you won't see it.
Right. Right.
So I didn't care. I didn't care about being able to see the lines because it's going to be in between the steering wheel
Sure.
and the plate.
Sure.
But you can set your printer to print real fine or real detailed.
You need to paint that with some chrome paint so it matches the hub and the wheel.
Well, that part is black.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's the part that connects to the steering or the steering column.
Dan is beeping again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bella ran into the bedroom with him.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's handy. And now they're making different filaments for different stuff. They're making filaments with chrome in it, or not chrome, but metal.
yeah,
They're making
yeah.
filaments with carbon fiber. Actually, this is carbon fiber.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So you can buy different filaments. They got rubber where to be bendable. Like I got some of that too, where I haven't used it yet, but if I want to make something that needs to flex or move,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, they're getting really high tech, man. It's pretty
That's
neat.
cool. Very good. Very good.
Yep. So look at Brian and see what he's talking about. If you know anything about air films.
Hello, kids.
Here he
Hello,
is.
What's
What's up,
going
Jim?
on?
What's going on, guys? Interesting conversation so far.
They sell antifreeze for the air brakes.
Yeah.
What happens when the air brakes freeze? Your brakes will lock on. You won't go nowhere.
Yep.
So, but the cheapest thing is isopropyl rubbing alcohol.
Yep.
You can
I
put
keep a
that
bottle
instead, drain it out, put some in there. It keeps the lines from freezing.
Yeah.
But they do. I think Birkerball 2+2 sells airline. You can buy it at Napa.
Yeah.
And just put it in. But because if it falls, if there's any moisture and it gets to 32 degrees,
you're in trouble.
It's start freezing.
Yep.
So that's definitely one thing, and actually, even if you drain it, any little bit of water, it keeps that air from passing. You'll have issues.
Yeah.
So it's better to run that antifreeze in there, get that in, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to change the dryer filter and put
There's a socket that they sell that unlocks the airbags.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a real long. It's like well, it depends. Like 7/8 or 13/16. It's about 6 inches long, and you put it on your a wrench, and you go up in the center of it, and that when you take that takes the airbags apart, and that way unlocks the wheels. You want to make sure you chock the wheels when you do that, because if you undo it, it's going to roll. She's going for a ride.
Yep.
So
I can see myself now chasing it down the street.
yeah, well, the only problem is, like I said, you unlock it. I mean, you don't have brake. I mean, that's just for towing reasons and or moving it and so forth. But if you get them jammed up and you got to try to move it, you ain't moving until the line's tall. And that's why, like, you can, even if it gets frozen, you can add the alcohol, but it takes time for it to
make it way through.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm knock on wood. I've never had it happen on any of my trucks. So I guess I got lucky.
Yeah. Like I said, because unfortunately, that's just pure raw water. So once it's, especially if it's something that you don't move around a lot, or it's sitting in the shade, and it gets to that cold, if it freezes up, man, you're done.
Yeah.
That way. So luckily.
Now I have had my oil freeze where I had to put a torpedo heater up under the truck.
Yeah.
Where I used to park my truck, so I couldn't plug it up. So sometimes I got stuck where I had to unthaw it.
Yeah, we had that long time ago. One time we were staying up in the up past Deep Creek. That's all the way West Virginia, Maryland. It's in the small part of Garrett County. That's a small part in the state of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we all go up there in the hot rods, and we're all running 20/50 and all this stuff. All this crazy ass weight. And you sit up there, and you're parking on snow, and it's 32 below and wind, and you go out the next day, and it's like, and that's it, dude. Get the we used we covered the top of the car with a blanket, and then we had like a skillet or electric frying pan thing. Laid it up on there and cranked that thing up to try to warm up underneath. So it's a mess.
Yep. A whole bunch of little tricks you can do. So I was at when we were in New York, I was talking to a guy from Florida. He had a schoolie from Florida, and he did an interview with me, and he did a tour of the bus. So we were in the front of the bus, and he was like, "What is that plug?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, that plug down there, what is that plug for? I was like, that's the oil heater. I was like, you don't have one on your bus? He goes, no, I live in Florida. We don't need it. So he didn't know what it was.
Yeah, block heater. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Luckily, well, it depends. Like for me, I have a block heater in mine, and I plug it in every once in a while. When I get especially like if it's a long weekend or if I'm not driving, like I said, it's going to be cold for a period. But usually what I do is I turn the truck around and I park it up against the face of the house so that blocks the wind, and keeps that, and I don't have too much of a problem.
That's good.
Thank God. Well, actually, we haven't had that much of a cold weather in so long. Hopefully, now that I've jinxed myself, and we'll have 6 inches of snow tomorrow for some goddamn
It's
reason.
getting down there now. We're down in the 50s again, so it's a little chilly in the
We're
morning.
47 here, dude.
There you go. So you're
45
getting there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get over how and it always happens right around. Usually, it's the weekend of Halloween. It's just a night and day difference. One day you're like running around with your flip flops and shorts, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's crack when the wind blows and. But it is kind of funny because everybody that came out to the truck today was upset because I still had the air conditioning running, and they're all like, "Aren't you cold?" And I'm like, "No, damn, dude, it feels good, right?" And they're like, "When are the work jackets coming?" And they're all over there shaking, lips
Where's the
chattering.
hoodies? Where's the hoodies, man? Be the
And I'm
hoodies.
like, God, you guys, seriously? And they said, I can't believe you still. And of course, I'm running around, t-shirt and everything, and they're just like, dude, aren't you cold? And I'm like, no, we're a long way from cold. So,
Well, I'm trying to break out of here next week. Get away from this cold before it hits.
yeah.
Went out west for 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, man, we're out of here. We're going to SEMA next week. We'll leave, but we'll go SEMA for the first week of November, and we're going to leave there and probably go to Arizona and stay there for a couple months.
I was lucky. I took a shot, and can you read that? That's the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals.
Oh yeah.
They sent me press credentials.
Wow. Cool.
They must be like, desperate for people.
Look, you need a helper that day? You need a helper that day?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. My buddy Bob from the Olds Club, he wanted to come. So they said, though, they give you like one set of credentials. So they just sent me an email and said, we want you to reply to let us know you got the credentials. So I did. And I said, hey, listen, I'd like to get another set from my engineer. What do you think? So they haven't gotten back to me yet. So I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see Tyler.
Oh, look at that.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
How are you?
The way you're glowing looks like a ghostly face, black alkaline. I mean,
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. I lost my feed. What's up, Tyler?
No, not much, man. I'm on my way to Canada. I'm actually at Terry's house right now. He's over on the couch sleeping.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing in Canadian?
Going up for a friend's wedding.
Oh.
Okay. How far up?
All the way to Moncton.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, it's a ways.
Well, if you're gonna go,
I can't hear him.
What's that?
That's we know now. We know that once Lewis hits another person, he loses his feed.
Yeah, right.
As soon as I added you, I was like kicked off.
Yeah.
The whole time he was blaming. Now we know he's has limitations.
Did you pay your subscription?
Yeah, I think I did. They might be hitting the switch on me. So you're at Terry's. I was there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard. All the neighbor kids were checking out your bus.
Yeah, the neighbors are mad that you didn't bring your bus up.
I got here, and the first thing that happened was the neighbor kids mobbed me and said, "Hey, are you bringing your bus?"
Yep. Yeah, they're asking about it.
Yeah, next year.
So what are you going up to Canada for?
One of the Canadian stunt team members is getting married.
Okay, cool.
So going up there. Yeah. No, I'm hauling up Daisy's Jeep, actually. They're having like a Duke's car procession thing, so.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Everybody say hi.
Will do.
So
Brian was thinking about hopping on, but he's over there petting the cat and halfway snoozing.
Yeah. He don't like us no more.
Nah. Big stars, They only come on
Yeah.
when you invite them.
Yeah, bougie. So we were talking about 3D printers. How's your printing going?
Pretty good. I've been experimenting with more on-the-fly printing, so I'm getting more used to building simple designs in the actual slicer software instead of having to do like a full 3D model. So, like for example, the other day I needed, I was using a zip tie, but in a blind hole, and I just hopped on there real quick and I printed up some washers for zip ties with a slot in them to slide over and everything, and it worked out great. And it took me five minutes to make the model and like 10 minutes to print 10 of them. So
Yeah, that's what I was
super
telling Ray.
handy.
I've been running around printing all kind of stuff around the bus. Like, oh, I need this. No, print it up. Nice.
Yep, simple brackets and stuff. You'd be surprised what you can find out there that someone's already modeled for free. I was putting a radiator in a BMW I'm LS swapping for a customer, and he brought me the new radiator with the correct size hoses for the LS stuff and everything, but he didn't bring me new bushings, and the old radiator is gone, so I couldn't pull any bushings off of it. So I just hopped online and I looked for BMW 3 Series, E36 radiator bushings, and sure enough, someone had 3D modeled them. So I was able to download the model and then print it in a squishy kind of plastic called TPU, and printed up my own bushings.
Cool.
Yeah, it's super handy.
Yeah, it really is. Especially dealing with car stuff. Like you can make vents and this. It's unlimited.
Yeah. Get my one word of advice for anybody looking to get into printing anything for automotive stuff is get a printer that's enclosed, and that allows you to print things like ASA, ABS, and PETG plastics better, and they are more heat resistant, and you don't want to breathe in the fumes from printing those plastics. You can actually get what's called ASA poisoning. So ASA is actually a toxic fume, and then the other ones are just not good to breathe either. But
Yep. I got on mine. I got a vent. I got an enclosure, but it has a vent outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty handy.
The reason I got my higher end printers was I wanted to be able to print nylon, and nylon, of course, is gasoline resistant. Filament printing is not the best for pressure vessels of any kind, right? Because you're never going to get 100% seal between all the little layers of plastic. But for things that don't need 100% liquid tight or pressure containing, right? Nylon FDM printing is super handy. So I'm using nylon to print fuel canister parts that go inside the fuel tank but don't hold pressure.
Speaking of that, I just I'm on a roll. I got 3 carburetor rebuilds in a row, and I'm working on a 65 Corvette carburetor right now. So I used the new place to get the kit, and I downloaded their instructions because I need the specs, and I'm reading through them casually just to see what they have to say. I mean, I'll even read the stuff that I know because I learned something new today. That's why. And what they said is on assembly, they said obviously don't use any gasket sealer on the gaskets, but they said you could use like a silicone spray on the gaskets. This carburetor, the gasket was so stuck, man. It took me probably an hour to get this top gasket off. But what they did say was do not use any WD-40 on any part of the assembly of the carburetor, which I don't do anyway. But they said because it will and does react with ethanol. And they didn't say how it reacts with ethanol, but it got me curious enough to want to find out. So, I mean, if you guys know, please tell me. And I had no idea.
No, I haven't heard that before, but I bet Google has something to say about it, and now I'm curious too. Thanks a lot.
I didn't get to look it up yet.
I'm really surprised because WD-40 is like one of those miracle drugs. I mean,
Yeah.
I drink it. I use it on my steaks. I dip fries on it. I use it for cologne. I mean, shit. I can't believe that they found something you can't use it with.
That's what they said. So I'll tell you something else. I was doing a lot of research on carburetor cleaning. I've been doing ultrasonic cleaning now, and the solution is always. I've been actually using pine sol to clean the stuff, but a lot of guys say there was a VW guy on YouTube. Does a lot of VW carbs, and he showed that sometimes the aluminum on the carburetors is a little discolored or aged, and you can use a brightener. And he said Napa has a product, and I had my buddy at the shop get it for me. It's aluminum brightener, and they say it works great. And I saw him use it, and I read the fine print on the back today, right? I found out why. It's got uric acid. No wonder it brightens the aluminum. So they're saying, like, don't use anything clear coated or chrome because it'll definitely wipe out those surfaces. It's got to be like raw aluminum.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to try it on some an ugly carburetor. But
You said you got it at Napa?
yeah, it was at a Napa store. It's part number 1458. It says it right up there. It says Marks on there. I don't know what that is. Marks? No,
I think
Mac.
you can also find that aluminum brightener, if I'm not mistaken. I think Ace Hardware, a good old school Ace Hardware has that.
Good to know.
I know that my Ace Hardware has.
Okay.
And it's
So you ready? You ready for your answer, Ray?
Yes, please.
So when WD-40 interacts with alcohols, which ethanol is a form of alcohol, it can cause it to essentially want to suspend in a liquid and turn into like a little bit more of a gel.
Which is what ethanol does when it sits long enough in the fuel system anyway. Okay, good. All right, so that will accelerate the process, and obviously you don't want that happening. So
yeah, so you'd like be pre-gumming up your freshly rebuilt carburetor.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't need any help. Yeah. Luckily, this carburetor was on a car down in Florida, and he uses ethanol-free gas. So when I took it apart, it was like beautiful. It's an old Carter AFB, and it has a leather accelerator pump. I've seen these before, and it just shrunk. The accelerator pump just shrunk to the point where it couldn't make pressure to squirt the fuel. So it's really the only thing the thing needed. But
my Scout had that.
Yeah, the old
that had a Carter AB.
AFB. Yeah. The original ones had that those leather pumps.
It had that. It even had that in the because that had a vacuum diaphragm, for the windshield wipers, because it ran off the fuel pump, and and it had that leather seal in there. And the only other place it was crazy because where the front U joint for the front axles, it had like a pumpkin ring, or it's a hollowed out area that you're supposed to put 90 weight, but that round, it had a leather seal that went around that. And it was funny. The first time I rebuilt the front axle, it was a Dana 27, I think is what it was. It was like 13 splines, big. The axles had these 13 splines on big cogs,
right?
And it went together. And I remember the first time I took it all apart, bought the seal kit, and it came with like this foam seal kit. And of course, going around splashing in the water with that like filled that tub up with water all the time, right through that foam. And thank God I saved the original leather seals. And when I took it all back apart, I changed it back over. Could never find those leather seals again.
Yeah.
Everybody had some kind of like a foam rubber.
Right.
So another thing I've found that's been super helpful having a 3D printer around for is marking tools. So, for example, I wanted to make a custom Y pipe for an exhaust system the other day. And instead of flush cutting all the ends of the pipes and measuring up each side and using tape to get my angles and stuff because I wanted the Y pipe to come together at a real nice, precise joining, right? I was able to just model myself a sleeve that goes over the pipe, and then I cut the end of the sleeve to be where my angles were, and I was able to print that in like 15 minutes, and it slid right over the pipe, and I could mark all my cuts and just cut them out freehand then. And it just saves a whole lot of time, especially if I needed to make more than one Y pipe or something. Fast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy having some 3D printers around.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need a laser engraver next.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because then you can take your 3D printed whatever and then chuck it in the laser engraver and engrave labels on it or whatever.
Right.
Yep. I've been making with my laser patches for hats. I do some leather stuff with it. It's pretty slick, man. So I've been riding around for a year with no horn button because remember when I put it on at your place? So
Yeah,
I
we
made
couldn't.
it was hitting the nut. So
Yep.
I made a spacer,
Nice.
give it a little bit of height. I just went and bought some longer screws too. But man, it's nice when you're sitting there like, man, I wish I had. And they're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna go print it. Pretty nice.
Yeah. Good to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, it really is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they always the old adage was the lathe was the only shop machine that could remake itself, right?
Yeah,
But,
right.
3D printers are getting pretty close.
Yeah.
So one of my buddies built a CNC machine, a small one, and he built that to build the parts to build a bigger one.
Ah,
So now he has a monster. It's pretty big.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber that I follow all the time, and Ray and I have talked about him before. This old Tony.
oh yeah. Did you watch his last two videos?
No, I haven't watched any of his recent stuff.
He's been
I haven't had
sporadic.
time.
He's been very sporadic. The first one was he made his own. He was making his own belts for like one of those little. What was it, Brian? Is it 3/4 inch or 1 inch? The small belt grinders.
Mm.
Yeah. What do you,
What's
Like
3/4
the little
inch?
handhelds.
So he was saying, hey, you know what? I got the 6-inch belts for my big belt machine, but the smaller ones are a lot more expensive. So he decided to cut a belt down, which was easy, but then joining it was the issue. And he tried different. It was actually a video that it was a fail video. He couldn't do it at the end of the day, which was, I love that he does that because he shows the success and the failure. And in the last one, he was talking about thread boring, which was, cutting thread on a mill, which was great video. I mean, so yeah, I'm sorry, but I diverted. So.
Well, that was kind of my point was he does all these videos about how oftentimes in his shop, instead of just buying a big machine to do a big job, he has over the years built a custom version of a small machine and then builds parts to upgrade or go bigger. Yeah. So like one of the first videos I ever watched of his was his 3D CNC router build, right, for the router table. Yeah. And it was, at first it was like not strong enough to do much cutting in steel, so he could only do wood and aluminum. And then he built some parts to upgrade it, and then he was able to cut steel with it. And then he ended up building like custom bracketry and stuff to build his full custom CNC machine. And it's just, it's really cool to watch the progression.
Also, the progression of his editing. His edits have become epic. I mean, that guy can edit video like nobody. You got to see it to believe it.
I would bet he's got a production team now.
I mean, he's kind of doing the same thing he's been doing for a while. Like this one, he had a block of, it had to be, I think, 3/4 or 1 inch thick plate, and it was steel. And the video opens with it on the counter, and you see him going, like a karate chop, and now the block is in 2 halves. But it's like seamless. It's such a fast.
Yeah, his edits are really good.
damn, man, just yeah.
His edits have become so legendary that other big YouTube channels reference his cuts
Okay.
when they like cut material. Alex Steele, he's a blacksmith.
Okay.
Years ago, I was watching a video of his, and he went to cut a piece of metal or something. He's like, Tony, eat your heart out, and try to do this old Tony style, jump cut.
I think one of the things that he does that I like the best about his channel is it's around Christmas, and there's a bunch of different YouTubers who are like tool and die makers or whatever, and they do like a Secret Santa where they draw something out of a hat, and they got to make something for one of the other guys, and then he'll always do a video on it, and that's phenomenal because you get to see what other people are doing who you wouldn't have seen before, and
right.
And then his whole thought process of how to do something,
So that right there, that little project that he does around the holidays, really highlights what I have talked to about with other people in the past about the difference between in our automotive space, even the difference between content creators that are Hollywood mentality and YouTube mentality. The YouTube mentality is it costs me nothing to collaborate with somebody. We can share viewership, all that stuff. It's all about cooperation and you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And then the Hollywood mentality is where's my paycheck? Right. So like I'm not even going to get out of bed unless you're offering to pay, X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. So a lot of the big content creators now that have like whole empires under them, Mr. Beast, Cletus McFarland, a lot of these Whistling Diesel, all these big guys, they all started at that lower level. And I love when I see them still work with like a content creator who only has a few thousand subscribers or something like that,
Right. Yeah, it's like, paying it forward. It's like help out the little guy. It's like, what's it going to hurt you? It's not going to, you're not going to lose subscribers or views. If anything, it'll endear you to other people because we're not all, at the same level. We're not all up there. So, everybody could use a little hand, helping hand now and again. But
so I'm facing a dilemma right now where I haven't really put out much YouTube videos in the last 12 months. And I just got my reminder email from SEMA. And they're like, hey, we know you had media credentials last year. We just wanted to remind you that you don't automatically get them this year. You have to reapply, and we have to review your channel and, or your magazine entries or whatever it is you do for media coverage in the automotive industry. And I'm like, I haven't really uploaded.
Yeah. Well, that's what... that's what I was just telling the guys. I got my credentials for the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in Detroit, and I figured on a wing and a prayer. I mean, we have a website, but it hasn't been active. In fact, it isn't active right now. So for content, I sent them YouTube links. I upload every week, and my Instagram link, and they were like, they didn't ask any questions. They just approved it. So I was like, sweet. They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. But
I'll tell you, SEMA is no joke, man. They hit me every year. Every year I gotta, really jump through it to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had to, you ended up pulling the
the black card on them.
Yeah, the race card on them.
Did you?
Like, I feel like you guys are giving me extra scrutiny because I'm black.
Oh man.
Yeah, because every year. Well, you know what? After that, I've been getting them pretty easy now.
Pretty easy.
What's
that?
So they put me on a list somewhere. But every year I would send them my information. They would deny my first request. So one day I called. I was like, hey, I come every year. Blah blah blah. She goes, oh, well, we have to, go through these steps, and you're not passing the steps. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I was like, every year I send you the same stuff, but for the new year. And so I'm emailing her, right? So I'm emailing her back and forth all my information. So I call in, and I was like, can I talk to the supervisor? Supervisor gets on, or whoever he is. And I say, hey, man, I feel like I'm being discriminated against because, I'm not that guy that says, it's because I'm black. But I just threw that out there just to make a joke and what they would do.
Oh, in the middle of the conversation.
What happened?
They pulled the plug. That's what they did.
They just
Yeah,
censored
yeah.
him.
Tune in next week, folks.
They just censored him. Oh no!
Wow. We lost half your conversation.
On his own
No
channel.
swine.
It's because I'm black.
Channel, he gets shut down. That's tough, man. That's tough.
So,
It's that hood internet, man.
Yeah.
man, listen, Ray, tell him when I used to steal the internet, it was always good. Now that I pay for it, it's worse.
Listen, years ago, you were solid, man. We used to joke about it, but yeah, you had no trouble. You had a coat hanger and a piece of wire out there, and you were getting freaking everything in.
I'm getting 100 people's Wi-Fi now. Shoot, I'm legit. Can't even get it.
That's crazy.
But anyway, so the guy says, "Oh, it's nothing like that." And I was like, "Well, listen, I'm looking at the email that she sent you, and she took out half of my paragraphs of what I said." And then he looked at. I sent him what I sent her, and he looked at it. He goes, "Oh my God, Mr. Lee, I'm sorry. I'll take care of it." And from then on, I haven't had any problems getting in.
Yeah.
Yep. She was. I don't know why she was dogging me out. I don't think it was because I'm black. It's just she must have been having a bad day or something. I don't know.
She didn't like your name.
Something, man. It's crazy. So this is how I know I'm on a list, because when we went a couple years ago, and my wife and her sister flew out. You were there, right, Tyler? Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Remember her sister came? So I go to get her sister a pass, and they pull my name up, and they're like, "Oh, yes, Mr. Lee." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, I got you covered." And so I was in there was some notes in there or something about me, because she was like, "Oh, I got you." Boom.
That's funny.
Yeah, it worked. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yep.
The note probably said, "Don't fuck with the big black guy. He gets nasty." Like, all right.
Louis, do you have the same issues for PRI?
He's frozen.
He throws again. Oh.
It would be so. It's interesting because PRI is owned by the SEMA Corporation. They're all under one house. I don't have any issues getting into PRI though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, he's a racer, and he got invited to PRI. Ends up, he found out that if you own a race car, well, you're a car owner. You get to go in.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
he's
nice.
like, you can bring along a driver, you can bring along a mechanic, and you're all part of the race team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all they really want is they want to see some proof that they're a member of your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had fun.
Yeah, I prefer PRI over SEMA. SEMA's wild, right? I always say that SEMA is like the Super Bowl for cars, and then PRI is more like draft day.
Okay.
Yeah. PRI is more business. Let's get the parts we need and talk to the people we need and get out of there. SEMA is more of a reunion for all the people to get together
And showing off.
Yeah, and to show off some sweet stuff. The cars there you'll never see anywhere else.
Yeah. All the Bluetooth drive shafts
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the big lifted trucks.
They
The
got it.
best welds.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite thing is doing the weld inspection at SEMA.
I'm waiting to see what the Ring Brothers are taking out. I know they're taking something hot.
Yeah.
Well, they're building that pace car, that 79 Ford pace car, twin turbo, and they also did that Aston Martin just got done.
Oh yeah, they'll probably be out there. They did a thing at GTO too, I think.
The Aston Martin they just did, it was like a 71 something, and right now they're in the middle of a 79 Ford Fox body pace car, and they were showing they just
79.
79, yeah.
Yeah, like
Fox
silver
body?
and black, right?
Yeah, it's Fox Bodies came out in 70. I'm sorry, no, that's right, 79. It was 78.
Thought it was 8. Thought it was 78.
83.
79 to 93.
Yeah, 79. That was the Indy pace. It was an Indy pace car, and
Horse running on the side, right?
yeah, it was silver and black. Had the horses
yeah.
running,
Yep.
shadowed out, and there was a couple of years. I mean, like 2 years ago, there was a girl that had one built. She built one, and it was all over the Instagram for a while, and I think that really stir up a lot of, because there are a couple more now starting to pop up on the. They were all, I think, well, they might, but they being T-topped, and those they had the 4-cylinder Thunderbird motor in it, the T-Bird, and you can get because it wasn't until like 82 when the Boss came back. That was the 302, and it prior V8 was the small, that well, it was like a 289, but like a 264 or something.
So I've never seen the 79 pace car before, which amazes me because do you want to know how many were made?
I've seen those, yeah.
Almost 11,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
there was a lot of them made.
Yeah, one of my neighbors had one on the north side.
Yeah, there was one on Sick Week earlier this year.
The one from Sick Week, I think it was that girl's car that she had done. It was
okay.
That's the one, because I know that was on there. But
Yeah, it looked just like that.
Yeah, now those right there are TRX wheels, and those are metric, and they're 390 by something. I had those I had an 84 convertible, which was the reason why it had the TRX suspension on it was because it was the new V6 that came out. And the only car that ran those other wheels or that size tire was a BMW. And thank God I worked at a BMW dealership, because when people took them off, I snagged them because it was only Michelin's. And back then they were like $400 or $350. And
What's
that was
one of 15.
Huh?
It says 1 of 15. What is that guy?
It's because of the options on it.
Yeah.
And all the way down to colored seats and the rear differential gear.
Right. Stitching.
Stitch. Yeah.
But it was.
I had the clock.
I think it was 82 when the 302, the GT, the Boss was back, and that was when they had a 302. But the earlier V8s were like the small. I think they were 267s or 264s or something like that. Real baby V8.
Wonder what they're worth now.
$12.
They want
probably a lot.
Yeah, they want big bucks for them now, because now the fads, all the 4-eyes. Mine was a 4-eye. It had the 4 headlights in the front, and that was all the way to 85 and a half. 85, they had 4 eyes. Then halfway through the year, that's when they went to the Euro front or the big glass.
So you could get them with the 2.3 turbo or the 5.0 V8.
No, so that would make the options. There you go. Whichever engine it had.
Yeah. So there was 5,900 sold with the 2.3 and 4,500 sold with the 5.0. The 5.0 was the only way to get an automatic trans.
Yeah.
All the 2.3s had a 4-speed manual.
Yeah.
Those are good old days when you order stuff.
Yeah, but you couldn't order because they weren't. It wasn't like I said. I don't even think they were really 302s because it was a small. It was that small Lincoln motor. It was a small V8. They might have said it was a 302, but it didn't. It wasn't a 5-liter.
Mm.
That wasn't until later on when the boss. That was might have been maybe 80, 81.
Yeah, they're totally leaving out the Mustang 2s. What about those?
Totally leaving out. Yeah.
The front ends are everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
back in that era, my buddy was racing in the ST2 class in IMSA, and he ended up going over to the Capri because it was the same architecture, and he had those TRX wheels on it, but it was a lighter car.
Yep.
And he ran every combination. He ran 4-cylinder carbureted 5-speed. Then he fuel injected the 4-cylinder. Then he put a 302 in it and ran carbureted and injected, but found out that with the 302, it was like it bumped them up a class. So there was like actually Corvettes in that class, C4s and all. So that was tough. They would get him on the straight, and like if he could stay ahead of him, he could get him into turns, but they would take him in the straightaway. So he went back to the Capri, and I think he was most successful, like with a hot 4-cylinder in that thing at a 5-speed. But then he ended up putting
across the street.
a rear end in it because he used to literally boil the brake fluid out of the car and he was using, .5 fluid and trying everything he could to cool those brakes, but still, he would boil that brake fluid. But yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, my neighbor had one of those Capris, and then I would always racing with my Cutlass with a 350 in it, and he would beat me. And then I put a worked 45 in it, 400 trans, 373 rear, and then I would kick in his ass after that. So what did you do? Nothing. I just changed the motor.
Yeah.
Put exhaust on it. Then you look at the engine, a 350 and a 45.
Yeah. Supposedly the Capris were a couple pounds lighter, a couple 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
The only problem is they had that ugly. Everybody hated that back window.
They had that tortoise back window. Yeah, probably helped with aerodynamics though.
Yeah. Yep, supposedly.
Yeah, the regular Mustangs were a little bit lighter than the GTs too.
Yeah, and at the time he was. People were onto the Mustangs. People liked them. They were still all over the place, so they were more expensive to buy. And the Capris, people would give them away. He actually got a couple for free. Had bad motors, and then he just put his own engine in it, and away he'd go.
I need to start looking for a Nissan Altima so I can go race it.
Yeah, they're around.
I went to the Danger Ranger and Altima 600 at the Freedom Pack this weekend, and it was 120 Altimas racing around.
Really?
It was like freaking demolition derby. Just cars smashing into each other, spinning everybody out. I was like, man, there's so many cars. There's so many cars around. The whole thing was full of cars. The whole track.
Big Ultima energy.
Yeah. Bumpers all over the places, headlights, mirrors. I made the mistake of sitting right on where one of the turns were, like right when they come out of the turn. I was getting hit with all kinds of trash and garbage. A piece of glass flew past us and hit the guy next to us. Like, holy crap. You can sit up higher next time. But it was a blast. Had fun. And you don't have to. I looked at some of the cars and it looks like literally someone bought an Ultima and just drove it there and put some duct tape number on the side. Like, all right, let's race it. It's like full interior. Then you had other guys that had no interiors, roll cages, race seats.
So, Keith, I can't remember. Were you ever involved in the Grand Prix community?
What, the Pontiac Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Well, I have a 2+2, so I'm in some of those groups.
So when the second generation of the W-Body Grand Prix came out in 97, there was a couple of guys that got together in Kansas and started what was called the Grand Prix Gathering. And It was essentially a big national meetup of front wheel drive Grand Prix owners, and they had a track day at this event, and I can't remember if it was the first year. So at some point, you could still rent Grand Prix at this time, right? Because they were pretty new.
Oh boy.
So guys would fly in from out of town and rent Grand Prix and enter them in the track day, right? And then
Not a Dora race. What kind of race?
it was just drag racing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
no contact. That's good.
But it evolved into the rental car wars. So guys would buy a nitrous kit, ship it there to their hotel, rent a car, fly in, rent a car, install a fogger kit on a rental, run it at the track, and then take it back off and return their rental at the end of the weekend. What's up, Coach?
What's wrong with this
The
thing?
old Avis Mustang days.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I took a tour, and
I'm sorry. I just want to stand corrected. The 5.0 was introduced in the IndyCar.
Okay.
It was introduced
Oh,
before it was a 255. That was the first. That was the V8 that was prior to that in that third generation. It was a small Lincoln or small Mercury motor, and it was a 255 cubic inch V8. And then the high output or the boss was an 82, and that's when they brought back the GT, and that's when you could get a manual behind it. But prior was automatic only.
so I took a tour at Carol Shelby's factory, and they have the banners hanging up in the rafters of the Hertz rental car stuff, and then they told us the story how guys would rent the cars and take the motors out.
Yeah.
I have
rent a U-Haul van or truck and take the motor out and swap it. Put your junk motor in there.
1995 at a weekend, and you got yourself an LS swap.
Yep.
Take your 4.8 or whatever, drop it in, and you got yourself a 6.0.
Yeah.
That's why on the 66 Shelby Hertz, they were really hard because halfway through production they took the manuals out and put automatics in them, and that's why a lot of those cars, even after they had the motor and everything stolen out of them, they just put a regular 289 with a regular automatic behind it. That's why when you get one of those cars, it's really, really hard if it had never been the parts were stolen off of or captured. Those cars are hard to document because they were given out to the public, and like you said, somebody would strip them and return it back with a regular 289 and take all the goods and bring it back. So it's hard to track those cars. And if you can find one, I got a guy down the road here. He's got one, Holland Green Hertz, and it took him a long time to get that car built back because it was, like you said, somebody took all the parts and ran. So it's hard to track. That's even before, it wasn't until 67 on when you could find out what the car really had. That's all prior. So those cars are kind of hard to document or track down.
It's crazy.
All right, guys, time for me to get out of here.
All right, Jim. Have a good night.
Take
See
care.
you, Jim.
Take care,
All right.
Jim.
Oh,
So-
Lewis, what spray foam did you use? Because I don't want to use. It doesn't sound like I want to use the same brand.
Oh man,
El Cheapo.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't cheap. It just ran out.
Ran out. I need to do a shed, and I'm getting
I'll have
close
to go
to
back
like
and look.
$1,500 just to do a roof on a shed.
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
expensive.
God, I should be able to do that by myself. I don't know.
Yeah, you can do it yourself, but man, I'll get the name of the kit. To don't get.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've been looking online. I'm like, oh, I know Lewis got one. I don't want to get that one. Make sure I get the different.
I know the Home Depot over here, they sell a kit. Like it's got the big bottle and everything.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like between $500 and $700.
Yeah. And I got to see how much that covers. I think I need. It's a. The shed is a 12 by 24. I'm just doing the roof. So it's like what, 200? Like 300 square feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and check.
Yeah, no, yeah, these quotes. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I still got to do a lot of work because there's a bunch of stuff in the shed. So I got to take everything out of the shed. And then the guy would come and be there for 10 minutes, maybe, and then leave.
Yeah, but he's gonna fill it up.
Yeah.
Fill it right. If you can afford it, have him do it. Really.
That's what I got to say. That's what I'm trying to weigh the options, see what the. Yeah, because he'll be done. It'll take me longer to clean up to put stuff back in there and take it out.
Yeah, I watched a video where the guy.
And that stuff's nasty too if you get it on you.
Yep.
I watched a video where the guy, he was doing part of the basement, and he showed where he was doing the basement and how much trouble he had, and then he also needed to do his garage. And it was a good video because he talked about it, the bonus and the negatives of doing it himself, but then he also showed, because of the trouble he ran into, that on his garage he had a company come in and do it, and he filmed them doing it and how much it was worth just spending the extra money if you have it.
So maybe I should not even bother.
Yep. I would say let them do it if you
Just let them do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got to cover. I already talked to the guy. He goes, "Yeah, we'll come out. We'll cover everything with plastic all over the whole walls and blah blah blah, and then we spray it." So
and see, here's the difference with them. They're going to give you a price to do it, but if they'll have extra if they got to fill in more. You know what I mean? If you use the kit, like I ran out halfway through the bus.
Yeah.
You know.
And you got to go buy another kit. Yeah, exactly. So my price could go up if I don't. Plus, I don't know what I'm doing either. I could spray too much in one spot. Who the heck knows what's going on?
But I'll tell you what, it does make a difference. I'm telling you now. You can tell. I bet you it's 10 degrees difference.
Yeah. Oh, I bought one of these guys, so I'll be able to tell what the difference is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thermal camera.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you could tell the difference on the. Like I had some spots that wasn't done yet. Easy 10 degrees, easy.
Yeah, I watched that video because my house faces west and it's block, and in the summer it sucks in all the heat and gives it off into the house, and in the winter it sucks in all the cold and gives it off. And I'm planning on, so my back room, which is what I'm in now, it's framed in. It's block, but it's framed in and insulated and drywall, and it's like a cave back here. So I was planning on doing framing in the front living room and two of the bedrooms that are on that wall that face west. And I was looking at doing the spray foam, and that's where I watched that video, and I was like, well, I'm still going to do it, but I'm not going to do the spray foam myself. And in fact, I may just get the foam board insulation and put that in instead of doing the spray foam.
The spray foam would be better.
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
Do you know what the R value is on the spray foam?
It depends
on how thick you put on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And isn't there different colors? I thought there was different formats or different color on the texture. I mean, on the.
Well, you want a
closed cell.
Closed cell, yeah.
That's a 2-part foam. So if it comes in 2 cans and it mixes in the gun, that's what you want. Yeah. That's also a moisture barrier. Open cell foam, like what you get out of the normal like Great Stuff cans or whatever, that's open cell foam, and it can allow moisture to absorb into it.
Absorb through, right? But they all, I think there's the art. They have that R value or the thing, the density of it, because they have different colors. They have blue. They have different colors of that foam, and that's there. Because I watch that dude from Canada that rebuilds houses, and he sprays, and he'll do a wall blue, but he'll do a roof red, or they'll have two different colors. And I think it's something with the density of, and it might be one or the product, because it's either wood or brick or mortar. I don't know for sticking. But I know they have different colors for.
That might also be a Canadian thing because different building codes.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the big guy. The blonde hair guy. The big guy. What is his name? You know what I'm talking about? His
I've seen
daughter.
him before.
What's his name?
Can't remember. Yeah, if I've seen him, I would see. Yeah, but if you this guy Taylor Ray, I don't know if anybody's watched his videos on YouTube. He built a shop and he had a whole shop foam, and he did, I think, the walls white, and then he had it tinted gray, and the roof was all gray. And it looked pretty cool. I don't know what he did. Maybe wanted to make it look like clouds or something out there. I don't know. But it's just different colors, and he showed like the temperature difference. And he's in Florida. Like, look, it's 90 degrees outside. He goes inside, it's like, maybe 85. I don't know. When he first did it.
Yeah.
Now he's got AC in there. It's like a freaking refrigerator. So it's, I'm like, man, that's
You'll
pretty
definitely tell the difference with spray foam, for sure.
Yeah, I need to really do it on my shop too, but I don't know, can you spray foam over dirt? Right, does it have to be clean?
I'm sure you can, but I'm not
You like
learning
the
the
guys up here and do body work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it would stick.
I see that on Just Rolled In all the time. Guy was turned down on inspection because his chassis was literally falling apart. He comes back the next week, says, "Okay, I had it professionally fixed, and now it's all black." And the guy just takes an awl, and it's all spray foam, and he pulls out a hunk of spray foam behind it's like tin cans and steel wool and newspapers. It's like, yeah, professional repair.
That's
We
like
had-
professional repairs.
We had a group of
Anybody ever
guys-
use this? Spray sealant Permatex?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know how it works next week.
We had a group of guys that were doing body work in the parking lot. They come up and do body work, and they were filling the cars with concrete.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Well, you see the one guy with the bricks?
I saw that. Yes, and I wondered if it was real, but he filled a quarter panel in with bricks and mortar, and then finished it off on the outside. And it looked perfect.
It looked good, right? When he was done.
Yeah, I saw
The
that.
car was leaning.
Yeah, air shocks, buddy.
I was like, what in the heck?
You got to be really careful when you buy a vehicle. You don't know what
Oh
somebody's
man, I tell you.
Well, that's Cletus McFarland did that. They bought a El Camino, and the whole side was smashed in. And he just took gallons of Bondo and just filled it on the side. And like, it's not gonna, and paint it. And then Whistling Diesel bought it, and then he destroyed it.
I love those videos where they use like literal brick mortar to fix like car panels and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys, I got to hit the road early in the morning, so I think I'm going to sign off.
All right, Tyler, safe travels.
Have a safe trip up there, bro.
Take care, Tyler.
Yep. See you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Hope they let you back in. See ya.
We'll see.
I almost got trapped in Canada. My passport expired when I was there.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I was on the way back, and they was like, your passport's expired. I was like, no. He was like, well, we don't have to let you in. I was like, man, come on, I got to get to work tomorrow.
Can't you travel on an enhanced license to Canada? I thought it was Canada and Mexico. You can use an enhanced license in Puerto
Well, I
Rico.
think now. But this was like 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
Well, when we go on cruises, they tell you make sure your passport expires, a month after you take the cruise. So that you don't want it to expire while you're on the cruise.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it. I was on my way back, and it was like, hey. I'm like, come on, man, I gotta go to work. You mess
Yeah.
up my job.
If you come down this way and you want to see Mexico, I'll wave to you and say good luck. I ain't going with you because I have trouble coming back across. I've had so much trouble. There's even a story that when I was 2 years old or something, my mom, we all went to Texas or whatever, and we went across the border in El Paso, and they were trying to like take me from my mom and keep me there, and so I've had trouble since the beginning.
Yeah.
But back in the early 2000s, we went across, and coming back, and I was so tired I didn't sleep. And coming back, they tell you they ask you to state your citizenship, and I pulled out my driver's license and I said Arizona, and you're supposed to say United States citizen, and I was so dang tired I said Arizona, and the lady said, sir, state your citizenship, and I said, yeah, I did, duh, Arizona. And I said it like 3 times like that, and the guy I was with looked at me, he's like, dude, you better straighten out because they are going to yank you out of this car, and I'm going home, I ain't staying with you.
Staying here.
And then another time we were this side of the border, but we went past the checkpoint and they stopped us, and I had just gotten we have a pit bull and a German shepherd, and we had just gotten them. They're rescue dogs, and my pit bull's barking in my ear, and I'm trying to hold her back, and I've got the window cracked, and the border patrol agent's asking for my ID, and he's asking if I have papers or my ID, and the dog's barking in my ear, and I said, I can't hear you. I said, I don't want to roll the window down too far because she's going nuts. She's a new dog to us. And he said it 2 more times in English, and then he said it in Spanish. And when he said it in Spanish, it clicked what he was asking for. And I said, oh, United States citizen. I said, here's my driver's license. Here's my ID. And him and his partner started laughing that I couldn't hear him until he spoke Spanish.
Couldn't hear him in English.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him in English. Yeah. As soon as he spoke Spanish, I not only heard him, but I was reacting real quick.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I try to avoid any of the I don't go across the border, and I try to avoid any of the checkpoints. I end up making a fool of myself one way or another.
That's scary, man.
So I bought my first Icon flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I ran it over with my car. It doesn't work anymore.
Oh, nice. Well, they warranty it, right?
I don't know. This is bent. You probably can't tell, but
Brian, that looks just like the one I had bought from you. What is that? What model was that? Is that the switch or the
Noel
switchblade?
What?
What the fuck?
the straw you got a switchblade. Yeah, that's very similar to it.
And it's got a
there.
UV light at the end.
It's got 3 light. No, it's just LED.
I like the LED on the end. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good light.
Yeah, it was. It was really nice.
It was really nice.
The light that you got had natural light for painters.
Right, that was for the paint. Right. So
Yeah, I don't know why. No.
So who knows all the modeling information? I'm gonna play around with building a match bash model, but I remember Steve Magnante talking about it on one of his early model videos about the right glue to use. He says don't use testers. I think he said it was like you use it. It was like crazy glue, but there was an activator. But I don't.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember seeing that.
Was it crazy glue? Do you think? Or
I can't remember. I remember
spray activator.
AC glue or is it AB or AC glue? Yeah.
AC glue.
Yeah.
PCV glue, right? That's what it was. That PCV.
Well, that's
Comes with a spray, an activator spray.
because I think you can get this stuff at like Hobby Lobby or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get I think Home Depot might have it too.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching that one with Steven on his son talking about that
Right.
because it
Not-
doesn't
not
fall
this.
apart.
No,
That's the regular model glue.
That's regular.
Yeah.
model glue.
Yeah,
So
it's
what
regular.
was it?
Stay away from, over a period of time that like turns yellow or doesn't hold. It comes.
That makes sense because I have
Yeah.
an old
It's
Grasshopper RC car.
come apart.
It's all yellow.
Yeah.
The blue is.
My
Yeah, I can't remember. You have to go back and watch one of his old videos. I mean, watch.
Yeah,
that.
it's back a while though. It's probably back a couple of years. And again, he was out of service for about a year anyway.
I'm going to sign off real quick here. Hold on, guys.
All right.
Well, take us out then.
All right, everybody. Thanks everybody in the chat and in the live stream for hanging out with us. This is Plan and Traffic, and we do this every Thursday night at 9:00 Eastern time. We try and we got merch too. Go check out our website.
Yeah.
Go check out our website, planandtraffic.com. If you want to help support our channel and help us keep coming on here every week and spitting knowledge or lies, one of the two. We appreciate everybody, and we will see you next week.